Hello students, in today's video we are going to discuss sample question paper for ICT, that is computer applications theory, which is going to be appearing for 50 marks and the time allowed would be 2 hours. So 50 marks would be theory and 50 marks would be practical. So let us start with the question paper. So this is a sample question paper which you can find on the web portal of CBSE as well, and this is how the questions are asked for 1 mark. Like the first question is, so in the first section you will be given 13 questions, and out of those 13 questions you are supposed to write any 10 questions. So first one question here in the sample paper is, what is a home page? So the default or the first page of a website is called a home page. And second question is, which heading element gives the most prominent heading? So we know that in HTML basically there are 6 headings starting from H1 to H6. So H1 is the most prominent heading. The next question asked is, give one use of anchor tag. So the anchor tag is basically used to create hyperlinks. It can create internal, external or any type of hyperlink. So we are able to create hyperlink using anchor tag. Next question here is, in the fill up form, dash tag is used for a horizontal line. So to create horizontal lines in HTML, we use the HR tag. So try to write the HR inside angle brackets. Next question is, an empty HTML element has a dash tag but no dash tag. So when we see the definition of empty and container tags, we understand that the empty elements has a starting tag but it does not have any ending tag. So there is on tag but no off tag. So either you can fill here starting and ending tag or on and off tag. So both would be accepted. Next question is, dash tag creates a bulleted list. So there are 3 types of list in HTML: ordered, unordered and definition. So bulleted list means unordered list, and to create unordered lists we need the UL tag, that is unordered list tag. So UL tag is used for creating bulleted list. Moving to the 7th question, the code for inserting an image in an HTML page is img src equal to double quotation alt is equal to inside double quotation some value which is not defined. The alt attribute is used for dash. So here they have given one statement or one syntax, and we are supposed to tell the use of alt attribute used with image tag. So the alt attribute is basically used to specify some alternate text for the image. Sometimes the browser may take some time to load the image. In that case, the viewer should be able to see some alternate text in place of the image. So for that we use the alt attribute of image tag. Now the 8th question in the sample paper is, Ravi was trying to log into his net banking account. He noticed that the URL of the net banking starts with HTTPS. The S in HTTPS stands for dash. So the S here is for secure. This is Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure. This is used in those websites which provide extra security, which involve some personal data exchange like credit card, debit card information, etc. Now question number 9 is again application based. Sarita is designing a web page and wants to change the name of the font type for certain text. Which attribute of the font tag she should use? So we know font tag has 3 attributes: font size, color and face. So for changing the font type, font face attribute would be used. Now question number 10, what is the use of BR tag in HTML code? So in HTML, the enter key does not work. Even if you are typing some text in multiple lines, the text would appear in single line in the output. So for enter key or line break, we use the BR tag. Now what is the significance of the URL? URL means unique address of each document on the internet. Every document, every web page has a specific address known as Uniform Resource Locator, that is URL. Now, what is the importance of vlink attribute of body tag? Now, coming to question number 12, in question number 12 they have asked the use of vlink. So, when we are creating hyperlinks using the anchor tag, the links are provided some colors. So, vlink stands for visited link here, and the colors of hyperlinks are set in the body tag, not in the anchor tag. So, vlink attribute of body tag are used to set color for visited link. We also have a link and link attributes which are used in body tag only to specify active link and the non-visited link colors. Now, moving to question number 13, what is the method of using comment line in the HTML code? So, adding comment in HTML is possible in two ways. One way is either by using the comment tag, and the other way is by using the comment tag in the given manner, as you can see in the video here. Inside angle brackets we type exclamation, then double hyphen, then our comment, and at the end double hyphens again, and then the angle bracket close. So, this is the syntax used for typing comment line in HTML. Angle bracket, exclamation, 2 hyphen, then our comment text, then again 2 hyphens, and then angle bracket close. So, these were the starting 13 questions for 1 mark each, and out of these 13 questions, the student is supposed to attempt any 10. In section B, we have 2 case studies, and both the case studies are compulsory to be attempted, and in every case study there are 7 questions, and out of these 7 questions the student is supposed to attempt any 5 questions. So, they may give you any extract of your book. Here they have given about internet protocols, their users, and few common internet protocols like POP, SMTP, HTTP, HTTPS, etc. And depending on this, they have asked 7 questions here in the MCQ form, and you are supposed to select any one of the given options. Like in the first question, they have asked which of the following is an internet protocol: HTTP, FTP, both A and B, or none of the above. So, internet protocols are those which are the rules governed while interacting or using the internet. So, the answer here would be C, that is both A and B. And in question number 2, they have asked about SMTP. What is SMTP? Then you can see here for email communication we use SMTP. So, basically SMTP or Simple Mail Transfer Protocol is used for sending your emails, whereas POP, that is Post Office Protocol, is used for receiving emails. So, here SMTP protocol is used in sending outgoing emails by pushing the message from client to server. So, answer would be the option C. Similarly, in next question they have asked about POP. As I said, POP is used for receiving emails. So, here B would be the answer, that is POP protocol is used to receive email from server to the clients. So, you need to go through the comprehension or the extract or the case study, read it thoroughly, and based on that you need to give some answers here, and few questions may be out of the paragraph as well according to the knowledge you have gained through your chapters. So, moving to the next question. In next question they have asked about which of the following internet protocols provides secure data transmission between server and browser. So, for secure data transmission we use HTTPS, that is Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure. So, option B would be the correct answer here. Next is full form of POP. Full form of POP is Post Office Protocol. So, they have given various options here like Post Order Protocol, Push Order Protocol, and below this they have given Pull Over Protocol, and out of these 4 the correct answer is C, that is Post Office Protocol. In 6th question they have asked which of the following protocol is used for delivering data from source to the destination, and the IP would be the answer, as internet protocol is used for delivering data from source to the destination. So, answer is B here. Similarly, in the last question, they have asked the full form of SMTP. SMTP stands for Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. So, among the 4 options given, the correct answer would be D, that is Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. So, similarly, there is the second case study. It is on secure data transmission, that is encryption and decryption processes. So, let me give a quick readout of this. Secure data transmission means that data or information not being received or modified by an unauthorized person over a network from source to destination. Here we convert an actual message into an unreadable message with the help of concept of encryption. Unreadable message is sent through the network to the destination. If hacker tries to read the message, he or she will receive an unreadable message that cannot be easily converted into the actual message. The unreadable message can be converted to the original message by the receiver at the destination. So, Caesar cipher is one of the most common encryption technique used. In this technique, each letter of the word is replaced by a letter some fixed number of positions, usually called as key, down the alphabet. For example, if the key is 3, each A will be replaced by D, that is letter D is 3 positions down letter A. Same way B will be replaced by E and C would be replaced by F. So, leaving a gap of 3 alphabets here, the replacement of the alphabets would be done because the key is 3 here. So, based on the key which is provided, the alteration of the message is done and the message is encrypted from the readable to non-readable form. So, based on this paragraph, they have given some questions here. When you are decoding the message or using the key to get the actual information, this process is called decryption. Now, question number 1, secure data transmission means data can be accessed by any unauthorized person during transmission. Data cannot be accessed by any unauthorized person during transmission, transmission of data, etc. So, here secure means safe data transmission. So, option 2 would be correct, that is data cannot be accessed by any unauthorized person during transmission. Second question here is, which of the following techniques can be used for security of data? The options given are authentication, authorization, encryption, all of the above. So, the answer here would be all of the above because all these 3 techniques help in securing the data while transferring. Next question is, Caesar cipher means what? It is used for conversion of actual message into encrypted message or an encryption technique or both A and B or none of the above. So, it is both an encryption technique and used for converting the actual message into encrypted message. So, answer would be C, that is both A and B. Next question is, person X has received an encrypted message and wants to convert this message into the actual message before encryption. So, the technique he should use is known as decryption. So, converting back to original message is known as decryption. Next question is, a sender wants to send a message having the text as computer to a receiver using 4 as the key. So, what will be the encrypted message? So, in the paragraph we saw that when 3 is the key, we skip count the alphabet by 3. So, here 4 as the key, so we are going to do a skip counting of 4. So, here C would be replaced by D, E, F, G, that is G. So, our computer would start with G. Now, after G, O would be replaced by P, Q, R, S. So, S. So, CO will become GS. Similarly, M will become Q, P, T, U, Y, T, X, E, I, R, V. So, our correct answer would be option B, that is GSQ, TY, XIV. The next question is, an encryption algorithm is used to transform a readable message into unreadable form, that is it is converted or encrypted message. So option D would be the correct answer. It is encrypted message. With the help of encryption process, we convert the readable message into encrypted message. Next question. In Caesar cipher technique, for which of the following values of key the encrypted message will be the same as original message? So answer would be A, that is 0. If the key is 0, that means the original and the encrypted message is same. We don't have to do any skip counting here. So A would be considered as A only. So this is all about the two case studies. So similarly, you would be getting two case studies and they would be compulsory. They are like comprehension questions in any language like English or Hindi. Okay, now moving to the main part B of the question paper. Here there are multiple questions of 2, 3, 5 marks, etc. And all questions are compulsory. There may be internal choices in few questions, like you may have or written in some questions in between, but not compulsorily in all the questions. So question number 16 is application based questions. Sarvesh, a student of class 10, is not able to understand the difference between web client and web server. So help him in understanding the same by explaining their role and giving suitable example of each. So you need to tell about what is a web client software and what is a web server software, and you need to give one example of each. So the web client software are the applications that let you browse the internet or access the server sitting on your computer. An application that requests for service from a web server is called a web client, example web browser, chatting applications, etc. Now web server is a software or dedicated computer running this software that serves the request made by web clients. Example Apache server, Tomcat server, etc. So the marking scheme is also given here for those who want to refer. Question number 17. Write the full form of CC and BCC used in email communication. Also explain the difference between both of them. So CC means carbon copy and BCC means blind carbon copy. So when you want to send same mail to multiple people, if you want the other people to know that the same message is forwarded to others also, in that case you add those people in CC. But sometimes you want to send same mail to multiple people, but you don't want them to realize or discover that you have also sent the same mail to other people as well, or other email IDs as well. In that case, you use the BCC option, that is blind carbon copy option. Now moving to question number 18. What is the use of sub and sup tag? Explain with suitable example. So sub means subscript and sup means superscript here. So when we need to type some equations like chemical equations like H2O or bases of anything, then we want the digit to appear a little lower as a base. In that case, we use the subscript or sub tag. So the text which we want to appear in a smaller font as a base would be enclosed within the sub tag. Same way, superscript is used for showing exponents or powers when we use any mathematical equation or we want to represent any power like square, cube, etc. In that case, we use the sup tag. So here in the example, you can see to write a square, we use a sup 2, then sup close. Then same way for CO2, we use CO sub 2, then sub close. So only the number which we want to convert into power or base has to be enclosed within the tags. Question number 19. Sunil wants to insert an image elearning.jpg into a web page. Write the name and syntax of the HTML tag she should use. The alternate text for the image should be e-learning image. So similar related questions had appeared earlier also, in which the use of alt tag with alt attribute with image tag was asked. So here for this case also we are going to use the img or image tag, which has src as compulsory attribute, and we use the alt attribute for alternative text e-learning image. So name of the tag would be image tag, that is img, and syntax of the tag would be img src is equal to the URL of the image, then alt is equal to the alternate text. Question number 20. Define the following: intellectual property rights, plagiarism, or what is e-commerce? Write any two preventive measures to be taken for secure online transactions. So both the questions are from the same topic, and here you are given choice. So they may give you choice or they may not give you choice. In both the ways you should be able to answer these questions. What are intellectual property rights? Rights given to creators for creations of their minds, their intellect, are known as intellectual property rights. For thinking or for creativity, certain rights are given to the creators, and that is known as intellectual property rights. What is plagiarism? So plagiarism means taking credit of ideas or words of another person. Plagiarism is nothing but stealing others' ideas, in short. So taking credit for ideas or words of another person. In the second choice, they have asked about e-commerce. What is e-commerce? E-commerce means buying and selling of goods on the internet, or conducting business using the internet is known as e-commerce or electronic commerce. There are two preventive measures for secure online transaction that can be followed. In this case, number 1, never share OTP with anyone. Whenever you get any OTP for your transaction, don't ever share it with anyone. Number 2, before making any online payment, ensure that connection is secure. So just check that the website on which you are making the transaction has a prefix HTTPS. Now question number 21. Shalini, a web designer, wants to create a web page to display a list where each item is listed by a number. Which type of list she should use? Explain the role of start and type attribute. So this question is for 3 marks, and as said earlier, there are 3 types of list in HTML: ordered, unordered, and definition list. So to create a number list, we would be using the ordered list, that is OL tag. In the previous question that appeared earlier for 1 mark, the tag for bulleted list was UL tag, that is unordered list. So for ordered list we would be using OL tag. The second thing they have asked is the role of start and type attribute. So start attribute of OL tag specifies the starting value of an ordered list, from where you want to start the numbering. Like if you want to start the numbering from 3, then start equal to 3 would be the value. And the use of type attribute is to specify the type of the list item marker. It may be capital A, small a, Roman number capital 1, Roman number small 1, that is I, and decimal number 1. Now question number 22. What are the rules of row span and call span attribute? Explain with suitable HTML example. So if you need to give a small example here by using the table tr, td tag, and along with td how we are going to use the call span and row span attribute, etc. The row span is used to combine cells vertically as well, while call span combines the cells horizontally. So in TD, if you want to combine 2 columns, then you would write TD call span is equal to 2. Same way for combining rows, TD row span is equal to 2, etc. Now question number 23. Saroj, a student of class 10, wants to represent a table in web page, but she is unaware about the table tag. Explain her the role of THTR and TD tag. Write HTML code of a table and show the use of THTR and TD tag. So if you know the uses of THTR and TD, you would be able to write the code for any table in HTML. TR stands for table row, TH is for table header, and TD is for table data or individual cell contents. And this is the format in which we would be using the table tag starting and the table tag closing. Inside the table, how many rows we want, that many times we would be taking the TR tag, TR open, TR close, like that. And for heading we would be using TH, and for individual cells we would be using TD, and all these tags are container tags. They will have open as well as closing tag. Now question number 24. What is the digital divide? Write any two reasons for digital divide in India. Digital divide refers to differing amount of information between those who have access to ICT and those who don't have access. That is, some people are more exposed to technology, whereas some are not even getting the right to access technology. So the information access varies from person to person in Indian society, not only India but around the world. This is known as digital divide. In India, the major reasons behind digital divide is due to the unequal distribution of wealth. Poverty is higher in rural areas, so they cannot afford the internet and ICT, and less literacy rate. People are not aware, not educated about the usage of ICT. Question number 25. Define internet and write its two uses in our daily life. How is it different from the World Wide Web, that is WWW? Or what is e-learning? Explain any two merits of e-learning. Now coming to the answer, the internet is worldwide network that links many smaller computer networks together. Uses of internet are e-learning, e-commerce. Now what is difference between internet and WWW? WWW is a collection of various hypertext documents available over the internet. WWW is a part of the internet. Internet is a worldwide network that provides various other services along with the data access, like email communication, etc., chatting, etc. So WWW is just a collection of web pages, whereas internet is service provider. Now coming to e-learning. E-learning means learning through the courses which are delivered online. The benefits are, it is self-paced, you can learn at your own speed. Number 2, we can attend classes at any time and from anywhere. So these are two benefits of e-learning. Now next question number 26 is about HTML coding. Now this question is very important. It is for 5 marks. And here you have choice. In the first part you need to, some output would be given and certain 5 points would be given. You need to satisfy those 5 points and write the HTML code for the given thing. And in the second part there would be 5 smaller questions and you need to answer all those 5 questions. Each question would carry 1 mark. Like here in this case, what is hyperlink, name the tags used to create hyperlink, etc., are the questions. So if you have learnt HTML thoroughly through your course, then you would be able to answer the last question very comfortably if you are comfortable in HTML practicals. So that's all in the sample question paper, students. If you have any particular doubt from the sample question paper, you can mention them in the comments. I will try to answer them. Thank you for watching.